Hello, party people. This is gonna be a little different. Might be on a happier note, maybe. It shouldn't be, but it is. I wasn't really sure how to do this video, but I guess I'll just start. Recently, I've lived in different parts of the country, like not a lot, but like, when I was in the military, when I was on the West Coast, when I was on different parts of the East Coast, but it's still, yes, West Coast, Best Coast. But anyway, I think it was well, maybe not a little bit, but a long time after I was sort of going back and forth to Rhode Island, and when that ended the way it ended, unfortunately, I moved, and eventually I moved and went out of state, somewhere else, into a different state, and I met someone there, and it was great while it lasted. It just didn't work out. We had massive communication issues, and I don't want to say we butt heads a lot, but looking back on it, we really didn't argue that much. We just let things bother us, and it's not that we couldn't understand each other, it's that we couldn't relate to certain things. And unfortunately, these certain things were kind of big things, they were kind of big deals. But we tried, and even though we fit well together, it didn't mesh well together. I really don't know how to explain it, but I wish there was an easier way to explain it. If there was an easier way to explain it, we might still be together. But she has her own life now, and I sort of have mine. I felt like I said that before recently. No, so I got something that I had never received from any other relationship I've ever had to this day. We talk every now and then, just as friends or whatever, but I received something I needed to hear, and it's too bad that there was only one relationship I got that from, but it was nice. Maybe nice is not the right word. It was great. Like I felt like a heavy weight was taken off of me. Like, in passing and whatnot, in the back of my mind, I always thought, like, what if, etc. Why couldn't it have worked out when that's sort of what we both wanted anyway? I have my guesses, but they're educated guesses. That still doesn't mean they will be right. They have a decent chance of being right. I'll get right to the point. I got closure. I got closure for the first time in any relationship that has ended. Every other relationship that's ended of mine, we sort of just kept moving on, and eventually she moved on, eventually I moved on, and that's all she wrote. She didn't have any unresolved feelings. I think that's due in large part her life is very much different than mine now. Both our lives are always different. It's just when we came home together, I don't know how it does bring a smile to my face, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, no matter what happened, when we're at work or outside the house, in my case, and never mind. I was about to say I was somewhere else, but I'm not gonna say. No, it was just like we just we tried our best to. I wasn't very good at it, but she was better than me. We tried our best to leave what happened at work if it was a bad day, and leave it at work. We didn't bring it home with us, because when we were together in our or whatever, our living quarters or whatever, our residence, it didn't matter. That was our time together, and like we didn't want to squander it, because, well, I'll say she was consistently busier than I was, and I did what I could, like when I was I don't want to say like alone in the residence, but like I did what cleaning, what cooking, what errands, what chores, whatever I could think of that I could, because she had certain ways she wanted certain things, of course, and so there's only so much I could do that I could get away with, that made sense to me to do it in whatever way. I tried to do it her way, though, in all fairness. But we were just talking, and one of the big things I didn't have closure with was that, well, I said it to her, and she didn't even remember saying that, and that was one of the main reasons why we broke up, and she didn't remember. It's kind of tragic, but like, even without what force, I don't want to say force, what compelled me to end the relationship and regroup elsewhere, it was always in the back of my mind. I have a lot of things in the back of my mind, and when I do happen to think about them, like I said, it was always what if, blah blah blah. Like, I wasn't angry. I wasn't, well, not anymore. At least I wasn't angry. I don't want to say, obviously when the breakup happened and it was so fresh, I was sad. I mean, I was probably clinically depressed. But eventually, in the time, heals all wounds, or at least stitches them up the best they can. I know. The conversation we had, I said a lot of things that I never told her about, like the way I felt. She told me about the way she felt. She eventually, from what it sounded like, she got over me. Like not to say like I was insignificant or just another notch in the belt, but the best way I can say it was the way I said it before. She has her own life now, and it's not perfect, but she has worries and whatnot. But I to me, she sounds happy, and I'm glad about that. If she couldn't be happy with me, then I'm honestly glad she's happy. She was happy with someone else, and no matter what else happened after that, I feel like she remained happy. Like, And then I myself, I, I just kept moving forward, but I didn't move forward as fast as I could have because I had that weight on me. And there's some days where it wasn't that heavy. There's some days where it was really heavy. But like I said, as time goes on, as time went on, it got easier. I I don't know what happened that night and what. I think I was bothered by something, and just out of the blue, I just I had an impulse, and I called her, and fortunately she picked up, and I just, like, it wasn't like super emotional or anything. It was just, I I don't want to say I needed answers. I needed clarity. I needed to know that what we had together was not extremely unhealthy for her, that I actually caused more harm than good. And why I felt that way, in the back of my mind, I am a person who typically blames themselves, and I feel very guilty very easily. And I don't, like, this is why therapy exists. I never shared it. I just kept moving on from one relationship to the next. And everyone at that time, including the previous ones, no closure. Just, oh, this relationship is over. I'll now regroup, I'll take a break, and find the next one. And maybe it'll go better, or end better, with a happy ending and a story time. Yeah, it was a good feeling to know that, even if we had another chance, like if we had a time machine and reverse time, I think we both felt like it probably wasn't going to work out. And I think at certain points we knew that, but maybe we just didn't want to let go at the time, until we were forced to let go. uh, I I She did acknowledge that I did what I could, like when I was leaving, in the process of leaving. I tried my best to make sure she had time to move out by getting the bills in order, so she had plenty of time to move or do whatever she did afterward. I assume it was move on with her life, of course. And she said something that I don't think she realized how much I needed to hear it. We're not getting emotional here. This is an emotional video now. It is, but we're not doing the no. I'm a James Harden MVP speech. No, we're not doing the emotional thing. No. Thanks for the MVP. I'll see you guys later. She said something that maybe it's not the first time I ever heard it, but coming from her, it meant a lot. It borderline meant the world to me. She said that no matter what happened, we can't change anything now, and it's all in the past. But she stated that she earnestly believed that I was a good man. I was a good person. We're not doing the emotional thing. No, we're not doing it. And I think that's all I need to hear. Something as simple as that. Something I probably could have gotten if I just asked her, or any of the hers in future relationships, even past ones for that matter. It just like I feel like, and I know that I am a good person, or at least try to be, and I just got tired of feeling like I wasn't good enough for anyone. And as time passed, as time came in the future, past and future, I've never had that moment where it's like it's okay. Like it's over and we don't have to hate each other. We try to be as adult enough as possible that we accepted that it just didn't work out. I mean, this is cliche, but we were just on different wavelengths. She saw our future one way, I saw our future the other way. And we both knew it. I'm pretty sure we both knew we weren't going to work out. And I will admit that the way I handled it, it was like ripping a band-aid off as fast as possible, instead of going slowly and eventually taking the band-aid off. Why I ripped it off so fast, I don't know. And a big thing I realized over time was, not exactly from her, but it felt like I did the best I could. And it was nice that she acknowledged that. Like, don't get me wrong, on this conversation was like 2 hours or something. And like I still, I know I shouldn't, but I still feel like it was my fault that I couldn't make it work. I understand it takes two people to make a relationship work. I get that. Um, I She saw the world one way that was normal, and I saw the world the other way that was sometimes pessimistic. I wasn't negative, so to speak, but I there was a lot of stuff I was worried about with us, with our future. And when I saw things weren't gonna work out, that's when I should have ripped the band-aid off. And I don't know why I waited. I had hope that the whatever was underneath the band-aid would heal faster. Because, we both had whatever bad experiences we had in the past. Just like everyone. Nobody's life is perfect. But that's what I wanted, was a perfect life with her. But my idea of perfect wasn't the same as hers. And it was a deal breaker. And I just still feel at fault, but the way we were talking about it was like, it was sort of like everything happens for a reason. She was more religious than me, but she thought, I'll let you be the judge of whether this is valid or not. she thought that this was all in God's plan. So she has her own life now, according to God's plan. And we kept talking about it in terms of what if, and she didn't dwell on it. I dwelled on it, of course. I don't know. But yeah, I thought I'd share that. My one and only moment of closure. There's different ways I can say it and whatnot, but to put it, what I think in a closing statement, I think in a summary of all of it was what it was, and now it is what it is. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care of yourselves and enjoy.